Hello, stock gurus, and welcome to another episode. Today is Friday. We're going to be looking at Plug Power. The ticker is PLUG in the New York Stock Exchange, the NASDAQ. We're going to look at the financials for Plug Power. We're going to look at the technical analysis on the long-term timeframes, the daily timeframes, and for today's trading day, the 15th of January, what is going to happen to Plug Power after this mega rise that it's been having recently and huge volume. The reason I'm making this video is just the amount of volume that's in Plug Power. It's very huge amount of volume. We're going to check out this stock. We're also going to do a fundamental analysis on Plug Power. We're going to look at its revenues, its sales, its profit margins, how much money this company is making, what its potential is for the future, and if it's worth jumping into this stock. I'm going to give you exact price targets for Plug. Make sure you watch through the end of the video to see those exact price targets. I want to say a big congratulations to all stock gurus as well. We've been doing absolutely amazing. The last few days, we've had huge gains. CRISPR up massive the last few days. Since I've been buying a lot of CRISPR. If you watched my last videos on CRISPR and a lot of the buy orders the last few weeks, also in the YouTube membership section, I put a lot of buy orders for CRISPR, up around 20 or 25% since those buys, which is beautiful. Airbnb, we're also up massive. We've been buying huge amounts of Airbnb. Uber, also large gains in Uber and Unity. So we've been doing amazing. If you've been following my channel for a while, big congratulations to all of you. Bitcoin is up 400% since that buy video in July on this channel. $9,000 buy Bitcoin. Bitcoin is now close to $40,000. Unity is up 300% since the IPO. When I made a video buy Unity at the IPO at $52, now it's close to $150. Match Group is up more than 100%. Twitter is up close to 80%. We had some drops on Twitter, but I really do like Twitter for the long term. I'll make an updated video on Twitter as well. Uber up 100% and just Disney up 70%. Wells Fargo up a lot recently. Huge gains on Wells Fargo, which is beautiful. We made a lot of buys into Wells Fargo as well. If you're new to the channel and you're not one of my 24,000 subscribers, I want to introduce myself. My name is James. I've been investing for 17 years. I was an early investor in Tesla, early investor in Match Group, the company that owns Tinder, early investor in Uber, and early investor in PayPal. In the last 10 years, I switched my profession. I've been kind of retired, but now what I do is I teach investing, and I've had hundreds of thousands of students around the world, tens of thousands taking the Stock Guru Master Course. Everything you're going to learn in these videos, I created a course for this. I want to teach. A lot of people ask me, why do I push a course if I'm a retired millionaire? Why am I doing this? I do this because I'm going to teach financial abundance, teach how to have a lot of money, how to invest safely in the stock market. I've seen too many people being really gambling in the stock market, buying stocks they don't understand with the wrong strategies, losing money in the stock market. And my goal is to teach you how to make huge gains in the stock market without risking your money. Rule number one by Warren Buffett is don't lose money. Rule number two by Warren Buffett is don't forget rule number one. That's really what I teach in the Stock Guru Master Course. Everything you're going to learn in this video, if you've been losing money, if you've been buying stocks and not making large amounts of gains, or if you want to have millions of dollars to buy opulent villas and be able to afford everything when you learn in the Stock Guru Master Course, www.stockguru.us. And anyone that purchases before the 1st of February, I'm going to announce the winner of 5,000 USD to one of the students that purchases the course before the 1st of February, which will be beautiful. So let's jump into the technical analysis for Plug Power now. So these are the companies we've been following. This is technical analysis on tradingview.com. These are my watch list of stocks. This is what a lot of stock gurus have been following, making huge gains on, which has been beautiful. NTLA up 9.59% yesterday. CRISPR up massive the last 2 trading days, up more than 20%, which is huge gains. If you've been following my channel for the last few weeks, I've been buying a lot of CRISPR the last month. Since I watched the Human Nature documentary on Netflix, I highly recommend you check it out. Very amazing documentary. Explains CRISPR technology, DNA editing, and you just learn a lot about DNA actually. Human Nature on Netflix. It talks a lot about CRISPR tech, so check that out. OTGL also up massive. We had huge the last 3 trading days, massive gains for the stock gurus. OTGL up 8%. We've been buying a lot of OTGLY on the drop after the 30% drop on their bad release. They're the company, the Polish company that makes they make the Witcher documentary, the Witcher game, and Cyberpunk. Airbnb also up massive the last few days, around 15%. Airbnb, we have been buying a lot of Airbnb. This was a favorite of mine. I made a lot of videos going up to the IPO, and it's still a favorite of mine. I see times 10, times 20 potential for Airbnb in the long term. 2,000% gains is potential. I really like Airbnb. I will start dollar cost averaging in. A lot of the stock gurus made huge gains on these companies, which has been beautiful, especially the last few days. Intel up a lot also the last few days. We've been buying a lot of Intel. Wells Fargo, I made buy orders on Wells Fargo in the YouTube membership section. Check that out. Yesterday on the join button, you can see my live trades in the stock market. And these are the other companies we've been following. Tesla a lot. Tesla we've been buying. If you've been following me from a long time, 2015 on my Twitter, I've been saying to buy Tesla at $80, telling everyone around me. Now Tesla is $4,500 after the split. So we've got from $80 to $4,500, 50 times your money. So $1,000 invested in Tesla. It's now $50,000. PayPal we've also been buying since $30 back in 2013 on my Twitter. But if you've been following me on here, we've been buying since we've been buying since $180. So lots of gains. And these are the other companies we're watching a lot of. Bitcoin up massive. You followed my buy video in July at $9,000. Now Bitcoin at $38,000. So more than almost 400% gains, which is huge. And many other companies. Uber is a favorite of mine for 2020, 2021. Today we're looking at Plug Power. I'm going to do another analysis on it because it is one of the most popular stocks on the market at the moment. A lot of my students are buying it. A lot of the market is buying Plug, and I'm going to research. I did a video on this a week ago, I believe, and I'm going to do an updated video. This is the charts, and they're very beautiful charts. If you're looking at these and being impressed, you should be, because they're stunning charts. You learn how to set up your charts exactly like you're seeing here in the Stock Guru Master Course. This is Plug. Plug is quite actually old. It IPO'd back in 2000 and let's check. It IPO'd back in 2000 at $188. Now in 2020, it's sitting at $66. So this company died and then started to come back again. So we're going to be tracking Plug now. So I'm looking, these are charts on tradingview.com. If you're looking at these charts and you seem overwhelmed and it's like a little bit too much for you, don't panic. Just take a deep breath and relax into this. I've taught tens of thousands of students how to read these charts, how to predict the movements of stocks, and I'm going to teach you as well. I'm using tradingview.com to get these charts. We're looking at Plug Power Inc. I'm using a few key indicators, and my charts are very beautiful and very efficient. I'm using RSI, stochastic, squeeze mob indicator, volume, support lines, resistance lines, and trend lines. You can learn how to set up your charts exactly the way you're seeing here in the Stock Guru Master Course, www.stockguru.us. And we also have, make sure you purchase the course if you're looking to get it before the 1st of February. I'm going to give 5,000 USD tuition to one of my students that purchased the course, www.stockguru.us, by the 1st of February. The course is perfect if you've been losing money in the stock market, if you've been buying stocks and not making much gains, not making millions of dollars like a lot of my students, or if you want to have millions of dollars to buy opulent villas like this, and just be able to live the life that you want and be able to afford anything you want. I teach you also abundance mindset and how to have a mindset of abundance in the Stock Guru Master Course. But let's jump in this. I'm going to teach you technical analysis, which you learn in depth in the course as well. Plug Power is the company. One day means we're looking at daily candlesticks for Plug Power. Each of these candlesticks is representing one day. RSI and stochastic, the way these work, when these lines are above the dotted lines, it means this company is expensive at the moment. When they're below the dotted lines, it means this company is cheap. So at the moment, Plug Power is quite expensive. It's very overbought right now. On the daily candles, the squeeze mob is still green and heading higher. The stochastic, though, is trying to head down. Same with RSI, trying to head down. But we have huge volume on Plug right now. And this volume is it's bigger than it's been for a very long time. So this is the highest volume that Plug has ever had. And volume usually predicts price. We had a lot of targets for Plug, which it smashed all targets. So I'm going to clean up these targets now, which is beautiful. A lot of students, if you followed my video a few days ago, we made massive gains on Plug a week ago, which is beautiful. However, we're looking to buy companies. I teach to buy companies for the very long term. So these little gains, these few day movements are not really, they're kind of irrelevant. We're looking to buy companies for the very long term, and we're going to determine now if Plug is one of those companies that you should be buying. So this is the trend that Plug was in. It was trending within this trend line since November from around $20 to $26 coming down, then breaking to $35, now smashing up to $36 the last few days. It had a huge pump up in price. For Plug, we can remove this trend line. It doesn't look like it's going to come down there. It's got a big support here at the $24 mark. So what I'm seeing is, okay, so stochastic RSI currently overbought, turning and heading down, indicating we're coming back down. The squeeze mob is green and growing higher, indicating we're going up. Our volume is massive. Volume predicts price. I always teach my students, volume predicts price. What is volume? If you were to buy Plug from me and I was to sell you my Plug shares, that would constitute a trade. That trade would be recorded in the volume. So the volume is the buying and selling of stocks. When you have a lot of buying and selling, usually it means you have a lot of interest in the company. Usually it means you're going to have a lot of future growth in that company. So the stochastic turning down, RSI turning down, lots of volume, indicating that Plug is coming down a little bit for the next few trading days, but it's not going to come down far because of the amount of volume and buying that's happening right now. A big support for Plug, we've got two supports, $62.04. It's the first target for Plug, and the second target is $53. It does look like the stochastic and RSI are trying to come down. However, because of this massive amount of volume recently, I don't think it's coming down far. So a big support on plug, it looks like it will come down to the $62.15 mark. More than likely holding there and then bouncing and heading further up. However, if it doesn't hold, then the next support, so it's got one support at 62, there, 62.13. So I'm going to put a trend line, a line there. We put a horizontal line just to mark that support. Then it's got another support, which I see here at the $54.11 mark. So it looks like plug is going to try and hold at that $62.30. More than likely plug will hold there. If plug doesn't hold there at the $62.30, then it can come down further to the $53.93. Yes, the $53 support, $53.93. So first target is $62 for plug, holding possibly there. If the stochastic and RSI all the way down and reset, then it's going to hold there and then bounce. However, if they're not reset, if the stochastic and RSI are just midway when it comes down, then plug comes down, then it can come down to again to the 53.93, and that's a great buying area for plug. Two major supports, close to the trend line also, but it seems to be going to follow this upper end of the trend line now. It broke, see how it was within this trend line, within this channel, then it broke out of this channel, then it looks like it's going to keep following this channel up. By May, it could be close to $80, even higher for plug. So we're going to monitor that. Now we're going to zoom in. So on this time frame, on the overall 1 year time frame, the overall trend of plug is massively trending up. And remember this, the trend is your friend. I very strongly teach this in the Stock Guru Master Course. The trend is your friend. Who's your friend? The trend is your friend. You always go with your friend. The trend is your best friend. You always go with the trend. You don't want to catch these little movements down. You do not want to be selling plug and trying to catch these little movements down, even to the $62 mark, that $4 drop, because you could miss the overall trend. Who's your friend? You want to go with the trend. So you want to be buying plug because the overall trend is massively trending up for plug. So it's still a buy. It could come down to the 62 or the 53.93 before bouncing and heading up. However, it is a buy on the long term and you want to go with the trend. It is going to keep trending up, but the stochastic and RSI again oversold, turning down, lots of volume. It does look like we'll come to 62.30, bounce off there and head higher. So now let's zoom closer into plug. So I click down here, I go into the 3-month time frame. Again, everything you're learning here, like how to buy your stocks, how to predict the movements of stocks, how to read these technical analysis, you learn in the Stock Guru Master Course, www.stockguru.us. Make sure you take the course. I've had thousands and thousands of students take the course. You can just see some reviews from my students here. Some of them buying Ferraris, some of them paying off $2 million houses, some making $330,000. I have many, many multi-millionaire students, many millionaire students, and I want you to also, I do this so you actually take the course. I make these daily videos so you learn this knowledge. It's okay if you're following my videos and you're making trades, but you need to understand this knowledge and you learn it from beginning to end. I specifically made the course to teach as many people as possible about financial investing, how to grow money, how to invest money the smart, secure way. Investing $1,000 into Tesla, for example, when I told you in 2015, it's now $50,000. You find another company like Match Group, which is up 14 times since I said the buy order, your $50,000 becomes $750,000. You find another company like Unity, which I said 3 months ago or 4 months ago, buy Unity at the IPO, up 300%. Your $700,000 is now $2.1 million. That's how you can turn $1,000 into $2 million by investing in the right, strong, very fast growing companies. That's what you want to be buying. So now we're trying to determine what's going to happen for plug for today's trading day. Today being the 15th of January. It looks like plug is going to be heading up for today's trading day. Why? We have a lot of volume recently. Volume predicts price. We have the stochastic and the RSI. Now you know, overbought, turning and heading up. Stochastic turning to head up, RSI turning to head up. Lots of volume indicating all indicators of a buy. So it does look like plug is going to be going up for today's trading day. The first target for plug, so that 53.93, I think it is still a good support. We could leave it in there, but it does look like plug is, okay, we'll leave it in there for now. It does look like plug is going up today. The first target for plug will be the $70.85. That's what it looks like, first target for plug for today's trading day. If it reaches there and the stochastic and the RSI aren't fully overbought by then, so if it reaches there, the 70.853 target, and the stochastic and RSI just midway, then we can head further up to the all-time high, which is sitting at 73.94. I'll put a horizontal line there. So we have one target here for today's trading day, 70.97. Then we have the next target for possible today's trading day, depending on the stochastic and RSI, of $70.80, $73.80. I'll remove this support line because we can clearly see it. We don't need to have it drawn in there. So the goal for today, stochastic RSI, first target $70.97. If the stochastic RSI only midway, then the second target is $73.80 for today's trading day for plug. Squeeze mob is slightly going down. However, the volume is also dropping. So I really believe the first target is in play, $70.97 for today's trading day. If again, the stochastic RSI midway and the volume picks up, then we could go to that $73.80 target. But the first target for plug, $70.97 for today's trading day, the 15th of January, which is beautiful. I hope you like this technical analysis. These charts are amazing. I want you to get the same chart so you can follow along with me. You learn how in the Stockguru Masterclass, www.stockguru.us. I'm also going to show you another place, another indicator of a buy, and this is why technical analysis is insanely powerful, and you must learn it, and you learn it in the Stockguru Masterclass, www.stockguru.us. It's here. I'll show you why. Stochastic. Now you know the conditions. You've learned this from this video. Stochastic RSI oversold, turning heading up. RSI too cheap, turning heading up below the dotted lines. Good amount of volume, and volume starting to grow. Plug on this support line at $30. These are all indicators of a buy. All my students know that these are the indicators of a buy. All the Wall Street bankers, all the 401k fund managers, they all know that these conditions mean buy. It's self-fulfilling prophecy, technical analysis, and that's why it's so powerful, and that's why you must learn it. Self-fulfilling prophecy. Stochastic oversold, turning heading up. RSI oversold, turning heading up. Lots of volume. All the Wall Street bankers, 401k managers know that this is a buy, so they all set their buy orders here. All my students set their buy orders here. So the price of plug comes down to $30. All their buy orders trigger, and it sends the price going from $30 to $73. You make more than 120% gains on that stock, and you would have known to buy right there. And that just happens within 14 days. In 2 weeks, you make 130% gains. And that's why you must learn technical analysis. And again, you learn to master it in the Stockguru Masterclass, www.stockguru.us. Now, let's jump into fundamental analysis. I'm going to explain what fundamental analysis is. And this is why the Stockguru Masterclass is so powerful, because you learn both. And I'm going to show you what that means. So now we're going to start the fundamental analysis. So technical analysis, what you saw before, the charts, the RSI, the stochastic, the volume, using the charts, the technical trend lines to predict the price movement of stocks. That's the main way that most teachers teach. If you find any course online, if Timothy Sky's Penny Stocks, most teachers are going to teach you technical analysis. And that's a great way to analyze stocks, technical analysis, but it's one way, the main way, but one way. The second main way, and this is what Warren Buffett teaches, fundamental analysis. The revenues, the sales, the profit margins, the income statements, the balance sheets, the cash flow statements, the company's financials to determine the price of stocks. And that's why my stock gurus make so much money in the market with the Stockguru Masterclass, because I merge both technical and fundamental analysis together, and we determine the price movement of stocks with both ways of analyzing stocks. Technical charts, fundamental, real-world news, real-world financials to predict the movements of stocks. And I'm going to show you how to do that. And again, you learn it all in the Stockguru Masterclass, www.stockguru.us. Take the course. Plug Stock is the company ticker. Plug Power Inc. is the company. The ticker in your New York Stock Exchange is Plug, NASDAQ. So if you were to type in your broker, you would type in Plug. And I'm going to show you my broker later as we do this fundamental analysis. So first, I go to the max time frame. IPO of Plug was in 1998 at $103. Then it went up to a high of 1,497, crazy, in March 2000. Then it fell from 1,400 to absolutely nothing, down to cents on the dollar actually. It went even to a low of 42 cents. And then it's just recently, in May of 2020, started to move from, or June 2019, but mainly from May, we started to have this big rise. From $3, actually even in August, May 220, $4 to now $60. So more than 15 times gains, or 12 times gains, 15 times gains. So great gains from there. The overall trend though of Plug is still, I would say, sideward moving, even slightly down the overall trend. But the trend has seemed to change. This was the overall trend. It was going down. First it was up, then the trend changed, went down. Then the trend recently just changed and started to trend up. So recently we got a new trend. The overall time frame is though trending down. The 5-year time frame is massively trending up. The trend is your friend. You want to always go with the trend. The 1-year time frame for Plug, massively trending up. 6-month time frame, massively trending up. 1-month time frame, massively trending up. So the trend is your friend, and nearly on every single time frame, Plug is trending up. So Plug Power is a buy based off the technicals on the trend. The market cap is $31 billion. Now we're going to look at the news for Plug. We click here, Delta Plug Power. We type in Plug Power actually to get the best news. Power. So now we're looking at Plug Power. Plug consolidates after net neutral rating Plug Power falls 7% after JP Morgan calls the company fully valued, issues price targets below current level. JP Morgan says hydrogen stock Plug Power trades at steep price, downgrades fuel cell energy. Plug Power stock set to snap long week win streak after JP Morgan says it's fully valued. Just water. Plug Power stock, fuel stock falls as analyst warns over unlimited upside. You don't want to be doing that. You don't want to be trying to short a stock that's got so much volume behind it. SK Group invests 1.5 billion in hydrogen fuel cell firm Plug Power. That's when we started to have the large movements after this South Korean group invested. Fully valued, JP Morgan says yesterday after big runner. So that's the main news for Plug Power. Plug Power consolidates after neutral rating. Shares fall more than 5% during Thursday's session after JP Morgan began coverage with neutral rating and price target of 60 per share. The move follows 50-50 joint venture with Renault and 1.5 investment commitment from South Korea SK Group. So that's very bullish. The joint venture with Renault and 1.5 billion investment, that means this company has funding to keep growing. Believes the Plug Power is a top pick within the hydrogen fuel cell space and could reach 1.2 billion in sales by 2024. Despite the significant potential, the analyst believes the stock is fully valued at the moment. So that's the main news for Plug Power. Let's go now into the financials on this, and then we're going to go into Twitter. So we type Plug Power stock, then we're going to go into Twitter to look at more news, but let's check out the financials first. So Plug Power is an American company engaged in development of hydrogen fuel cell systems that replace conventional batteries in equipment and vehicles powered by electricity. The company is headquartered in Latham, New York, and facilities in Washington and New York. CEO Andrew Marsh, founder in 1997, headquarters in New York. Revenue, $230 million in revenue, not bad. Though $30 billion valuation, but only 835 employees is quite high. What we're looking for in the financials is massive revenues, year-on-year revenue growth, huge profit margins, large amounts of cash. That's what we look for in fundamental analysis on the revenues of a company. Quarterly financials. As a publicly traded company, every 3 months, this company is required by law to report its earnings to the public, you, the owner. The owners are the public. Anyone that owns this company's stock is the owner of this company. In the quarterly financials, they have to be reported to the owners, the public, you guys, anyone who owns this stock. December 2019, $98 million in sales, up 64%. That's showing revenues big, revenue growth big. Profit margins though, negative 12% almost, so still losing money company. However, they have cash on hand, 139 million. March 2020, their sales dropped massively, 40 million, but still 89% year on year. Profit margins went down a lot more, 91% drop. Cash on hand, 74 million. In June 2020, Plug was up 68 million in sales, up 18%. Still net profit margin, negative 12%, so still losing money. Cash on hand, 152 million. And then forward to September, sales went up a lot, 106 million in sales, up 80% year on year, which is great, revenue increasing. Net income still losing money, net profit margins, and cash on hand. They raised huge amounts of cash, 348 million. So now sitting at nearly half $500 million in cash. So revenues growing, tick. Revenue year on year growth, profit, large revenues growing, tick, tick. Profit margins negative and still losing money. That's not a tick. So 2 out, and then large amounts of cash, tick, raising 340, now $500 million. So they have large revenues, they have large revenue growth, they have $500 million in cash, ticking 3 boxes, but their profit margins are still very low, losing money and not growing. We really need to see that improve. It's very important. That's the main thing we look for. That yes, they're getting lots of revenues, yes, they're getting lots of sales, but they need to convert that into profits. However, for a relatively new a company that's advancing and growing and researching and development, that's not that bad. They're reinvesting their money to grow. So let's go now in my Twitter to check out any major news for Plug Power that could affect the stock in the coming days or future. So now we're in Twitter, we're looking at Stock Guru. You can follow me on Twitter, type in Stock Guru in the search and I'll come up 2,785 followers, which is amazing. We were at 500 followers just a few weeks ago, which is beautiful. Here you can see my pinned tweet, student reviews of the Stock Guru Mastercourse, which you find at www.stockguru.us. There's hundreds and hundreds of amazing comments. Read this thread, it's very beautiful. Nicole was losing 90,000, took my course, saved herself 90,000. Now she's up $700,000. Here's a tip, guys, buy the course. Here I push the course because I actually make these videos so you buy the course. I do not want to give people fish. I want to teach them how to fish, and you learn how to do this. Everything you need to know about the stock market, you learn in the Stock Guru Mastercourse. And you can just read hundreds and hundreds of reviews from tens of thousands of students. that have made nearly $500 million in the stock market. Some of them paying off $2 million houses, buying Ferraris, paying off mortgages, paying off student loans, paying off medical bills. I'm 17 and up 80% since I started watching your videos, and you can just read amazing, life-changing stories in these comments. Some of them very beautiful. A lot of people losing their jobs because COVID. A lot of really heartfelt stories. Check them out in the thread. Elon, the Starship, this is news I shared. The Starship S9 prototype stands tall at SpaceX Future Mars Spaceport in Texas, following a series of test flights. Wow, it looks beautiful. Elon Musk said it's like Fallout. Me, buy Bitcoin and PayPal, DCA. This is because on the news, my 16-year-old daughter, DCA, dollar cost average. My students know this. DCA is a very powerful acronym. If you don't know it yet, learn it in the course. My 16-year-old daughter finally buys Bitcoin using PayPal app. Beautiful. This was my lunch today next to a fire that I have outside of my villa. Very nice. Pico set that up. Beautiful burgers. And here you can see, of course, I've just loaded 500K. I made a video on PLTR yesterday, rating it a buy for yesterday's trading day with a reverse head and shoulders that popped yesterday and was up 7% after hours, which is beautiful. Congratulations, all stock gurus who bought PLTR buy yesterday. This is me in the video showing the reverse head and shoulders. This is a reverse head and shoulders. You have a shoulder, you have a head, you have a shoulder, and usually it breaks up to the upside, which it did, and it's up 7% after hours, which is beautiful. Get rich with your best friend 2021. Here you can just read, this is students, any purchase of the Stockguru Master Course, www.stockguru.us. I match the same number of students, I match the same number of courses to students around the world. We've given close to, more than a few hundred courses to students. I'm not sure the exact number, but anytime someone purchases a course, we're donating the same number of courses to students around the world, which will be beautiful. And just, you can read shares. Airbnb and Uber, our two biggest holdings, had huge gains this week. Congratulations, Stock Gurus, which is beautiful. And Uber had a massive uprating of rating now to $80. Uber was my favorite. And if you've been watching me, following me, I've been buying a lot of Airbnb and Uber. You can see in the YouTube membership section, the join button to see my live trades in the market. Anytime I buy a stock, sell a stock, you see it live in the market. And you can just, with the potential $2 to $3 million package revealed tonight by Biden, why would anyone sell right now? This is correct. The stock market, I believe, is going to have massive gains. This is a sunset from my villa. Massive gains in the stock market just because the amount of money that's currently being printed. So what we can do in the search now is we can type plug power and we can research this stock on Twitter. And this is why Twitter is so powerful. You can research companies just by typing in here, and the news is sorted by the top news. So we type plug power, but you could also type in, Tesla, you can type in Apple, and you can follow the news, and you can also follow the CEOs. You can follow Tim Cook, you can follow Elon Musk, you can follow me, and you can get information even before news agencies see it. Plug Power going crazy today. Anyone who thinks Tesla's bubble should look at Plug Power chart. Shares of the fuel cell company have raised 1,600% within 1 year, while Tesla's only gained 680%. But that's in 1 year, but okay. What I'm sad about is most when I think about when I saw my Plug Power back when it's $4, now it's $70. Don't ever worry about that. Don't think with this mentality. This is a mindset of lack. There is thousands of opportunities every day in the stock market and in financials. We can make money, and the stock gurus make money in all conditions. Well, let's make huge money. Don't worry about previous history. Don't think with a mindset of lack. We can always find amazing opportunities. CRISPR, if you've been following my videos, we've been buying a lot of CRISPR, and it was up 19% on the 8th of January, which is beautiful. Plug Power stock surges again after doubling the past 6 days. So we're trying to find any major news for Plug Power. Large stocks with the most shares traded today. Plug Power, 152 million. All these companies, if you've been following, we've been buying a lot of Plug Power. Intel, I made videos on those. NIO, we've made huge buy orders on Intel the last few months just because the financials are amazing. Check out my video on Intel yesterday, a very recommended company. Make sure you check it out. Palantir, we've been following a lot of. Airbnb, Alibaba, we've been following a lot of. Apple made nearly daily videos on that, which is beautiful. So trying to find any major news. Neutral rating, $60 target for Plug Power. Plug Power CEO back on Mad Money CNBC tonight at 6 p.m. Hits the airwaves again today with CNBC. So we're trying to find any major news. Group Renault and Plug Power join forces to become leader in hydrogen LCVs. JV will start commercializing fuel cell LCVs in Europe starting in 2021 with pilot fleet deployments. Group Renault, this is a big company, and Renault is a very big company. Plug Power and Renault form a joint venture to build hydrogen fuel delivery vans in Europe. Amazing. That's great news for Plug Power. This is getting interesting. Plug Power could really be a very strong stock because of the potential technology. If it does manage to get this technology up and running and popular, hydrogen power is going to be very popular, and electric is also popular. These are the most active stocks in NASDAQ. Tesla, Apple, Plug Power, Amazon, AMD, Facebook, Intel, Microsoft, Zoom. So that's the main news for Plug Power. Opportunity of green gas and green hydrogen. This week, Plug Power announced $1.5 billion investment from South Korea's group for boosting hydrogen fuel cells, giving hydrogen electrolyzers in Asia. So that's the main news from Plug Power, the joining of Renault and the $1.5 billion investment by South Korean group, which is beautiful. Now you can also type in up here Stock Guru and you can find me in the search. Check out me, click on me, follow me and learn this information. Here you can become a YouTube member and see my live trades in the market. And here you can join the Stock Guru Mastercourse, www.stockguru.us. I'll show you the course. It's changed many tens of thousands of students' lives. Make sure you take it, all this knowledge that you're seeing in my videos, even if you're making a little bit of money or making huge gains. Some of my students making tens of millions. I have a student that's close to going up to 100 million this year. Many students in tens of millions, 1 million. And here you can just see reviews from my students. Greetings from Sweden, bought a Ferrari 430 Scuderia following your gains. Chuck, I'm officially without a mortgage. Thank you, James, for help directing me. Stayfly, I made over 330,000 with your guidance. Stayfly is now up to 850,000. We're going to get him to 1 million. Patrick, he lost his job because of COVID. Amazing saxophone player. Follow him on YouTube. Great music. 200 events a year in Europe. Was locked down, so he couldn't play anymore. Up 100,000 plus since, much more I think since then. David up 450% on his portfolio. Brendan, love you, James. You made my life so much better. Made me a ton, saved me time. Got his course. Watching it whenever I'm free time. I'm going to definitely teach my kids as well. Nicole up 800,000. 700,000. You can just read reviews from the students. The course is 333. It will be going slowly to $3,000. My producers will increase the price. Currently 333. And you can read the description, which explains everything that's in the course, what you learn. Really well written. Check it out. And down the bottom, you can click buy this. 28 ratings, nearly all 5-star. You can click buy this and then put in your card details and you buy the Stock Guru Master Course for $333, lifetime access to the course. You can watch it whenever you want and you can watch it on iPad, whatever you need. So I hope you like this. Let's go into, make sure you take the course. Anyone that purchased the course as well, before the 1st of February, I'm going to announce the winner of 5,000 USD tuition to one of my students. So they take the course, they have my knowledge. One of my students, I'm going to announce on the 1st of February is getting 5,000 USD for their portfolio with my knowledge, which will be beautiful. If you've been losing money in the stock market, buying stocks and not getting large gains, using any amount of leverage, or you want to have millions of dollars again to buy opulent villas like this and live the life that you want, you learn how to do all this in the Stock Guru Master Course. Take the course and you'll see. So now let's go into the fundamentals. I'm going to show you the revenues in my broker, Charles Schwab. I'm going to show you how to value a company based off its financials. So now we're looking at my broker in Charles Schwab. I recommend Charles Schwab broker if you're American. Amazing broker, very easy to set up. The biggest broker in the world with $7 trillion in assets. They're a publicly traded company, Charles Schwab, on the New York Stock Exchange. So it's very secure broker, one of the best in the world. I very much recommend them. I'm not affiliated with Charles Schwab in any way. I would like to be, if someone from Charles Schwab is watching this, get me on your team because I really love your brokerage company. It's an amazing company. If you're not American, it does require 25,000 USD to open a Charles Schwab brokerage account. So another one you can use, and I really recommend for Europeans, is Interactive Brokers. For the best brokers for you in your country, I also teach you this in the Stock Guru Master Course. Again, www.stockguru.us, the website. Plug Power is the company. In the ticker, you type here in the name or symbol in your broker, PLUG, plug on the NASDAQ. Last price, $66.54, bid $63.82, what people are willing to pay for the stock. The ask, $63.90, what people are willing to sell the stock. The overall trend massively trending up since 2017, 83 cents, now $73. So almost 100 times your investment. $1,000 there is now nearly $100,000 there just 3 years later. Amazing gains. Average volume in the last 10 days, 66 million shares being traded. So huge volume for Plug at the moment. Volume predicts price. See how with very little volume, then 2017 spiked, then volume dropped off again. And now recently, the last few years, massive amounts of volume. Volume predicts price. When there's a lot of interest, there's a lot of volume, that usually means the price is going to be heading up. Earnings per share, it's still a losing money company, negative 29 cents per share, $31 billion market cap, 49% held by institutions. Here's the news. Let's see if there's any Wall Street securities analysts. No major hydrogen bubble. European shares open higher at 0.3%. We're trying to find any major news for Plug. This is roasted coconut water. This is the roasted coconut. Amazing. Highly recommend them. Super nice. JP Morgan initiates coverage on Plug Power with a neutral rating, $60 price target. Plug Power has an average rating of outperform price targets ranging from 21 to 85 according to analysts. Beautiful. So the analyst, here's the rating summary. We can see all the ratings from the main analysts. F by Charles Schwab as equity rating, meaning Plug Power has a lot of debts compared to liability to assets. So that's why it has a low rating. Ned Davis has neutral. CFRA has strong sell. Reuters has outperformed. Reuters Research has outperformed. So it's mixed. Sell and outperform and neutral. So like one for each. So the analysts aren't really getting behind this company yet. Let's look at the statements, the financial statements of Plug Power. Now, the income statement, the balance sheets, the cash flow statements, these might look overly complicated, but don't panic. I'm going to show you how to read them slightly here, but in the Stock Guru Mastercourse, I teach you, even if you don't know anything about this, you're going to learn how to really read the financials to value companies. The time is 4:44 right now. Beautiful, I love numbers. You learn how to read these in the Stock Guru Mastercourse, www.stockguru.us. 2015 total revenue, that means the total sales of the company, 103 million. 2017, 100 million, wasn't growing too much. 2018 jumps up a lot, 175 million. 2009, 230 million. So it's ticking the boxes of massive. What we're looking for here is huge revenues, huge revenue growth, huge profit margins, massive amounts of cash. So it's got revenues, tick. It's got revenue growth, tick. So now we're looking for large amounts of cash. So we scroll down. Net income after tax, here it's still losing money. So 56 million loss in 2015 and still 85 million loss now. So even though it's making $280 million actually, $280 million in sales, it's still losing $80 million. So it's losing 360 million. So it's using 360 million worth of money, making 240 million, but losing 85 million. So still losing money company. So that's not a tick. So revenues growing, tick. Large revenues, tick. Profit margins, not a tick. It's still losing money company. And cash, let's see how much cash they had. We checked before, they had close to $500 million. We can check in the cash flow statements to see how much cash they have. And you learn also to read this in the Stock Guru Mastercourse. And the cash flow end balance for future use, $370 million in 2019. And net cash for future use, now close to $500 million. So it's ticking 3 of the 4 boxes. Large revenues, large revenue growth, profit margins negative, still negative, not a tick, but large amounts of cash, tick. So 3 out of the 4 boxes are ticks. I will have a summary now of Plug Power. Let's go into the summary. So in summary, the technicals are showing that Plug Power is going to continue higher. It could come down today to a little bit of a support, but the overall trend recently has been massively trending up. The technicals are showing a buy, but with the RSI and stochastic on the long term being so overvalued at the moment, DCA, dollar cost average, DCA means take your capital. I teach 10 companies. Say you had 100K, 10% into each company, 10 companies, 5 in diversified industries, construction, medical, transportation, etc. 5 in the industry you love, mine being tech and biotech. 10 companies, 10% of your money in each company. So if you had 100K, $10,000, if Plug was one of your companies that you want to be buying for the long term, dollar cost averaging to Plug, because of the very high RSI and stochastic and PE ratio, I really recommend dollar cost averaging over at least 10 or even 20 months. Meaning you would be putting, if you have $10,000 to put into Plug, you'll put $500 a month and dollar cost average. Buy Plug every month for $500 amount and your price will average out over time. That's what I recommend for Plug. The revenues are ticking the boxes, 3 out of the 4. Large revenues, large revenue growth, large amounts of cash, but they don't have profit margins. They're not yet profitable, but that is because they're growing. I do see a lot of potential for the Plug. I do rate it a buy, but again, I would dollar cost average over a longer period of time just because the PE ratio is so high. But I do rate it a buy. The technology is promising. They're backed now by $1.5 billion in cash from South Korean government. They are partnering with Renault. So there is a lot of potential for this company and their products. So it is a buy, dollar cost average, and I do rate Plug a buy. I hope you like this technical and fundamental analysis. I hope you learned a lot. Don't forget to check out my technical analysis. I do quick technicals on Tesla today, Apple, and NIO. You can check it out also in this channel. If you're not subscribed yet, if you're not one of my 24,000 subscribers, hit the subscribe and the bell and the thumbs up button so you're notified of these daily videos. And if everything you've seen here, the technicals, fundamentals, you learn in depth in the Stock Guru Mastercourse, I highly recommend you take it. It's helped tens of thousands of students make $500 million in the stock market, which is beautiful. You learn how at www.stockguru.us. It's perfect if you've been losing money in the stock market, buying stocks and making not much gains, not making millions, using any form of leverage, or if you want to have, again, millions of dollars to be able to afford opulent villas like this and just buy whatever you want in life and just have a mindset of abundance. I also teach to have a mindset of abundance, meaning don't think any thoughts of lack. You only think thoughts of abundance, of that you can afford anything, that you can buy anything, that money is infinite. They're printing $3 trillion next year. They printed 3.5 trillion last year. So this is what I teach in the Stock Guru Mastercourse, www.stockguru.us, which goes really well. Also, you can follow my YouTube membership section here, $99 a month. You see the join button on the YouTube channel. You become a YouTube member and you see my live trades in the market as I make them in the stock market. Every time I buy a stock in the stock market, if I sell a stock in the stock market, I put my limit price, the targets for my trade, the reasons for my trade, and my stop loss in the YouTube membership section. Usually I'm buying 1 to 3 stocks per day, and I time my buys to be at perfect technical entries. So as soon as I buy a stock, usually I'm going into the profits very quickly, which has made also my students a lot of money. So it's perfect. You can follow my live trades while you take the Stock Guru Mastercourse and join my Stock Guru Mastercourse students that have made close to $500 million in the stock market. This is James from Stock Guru. I wish you a blessed, abundant day full of like really happiness and abundance, effortless abundance. You didn't have to work hard for money. You don't have to work hard for air. You don't have to work hard for water. You really have to have this mindset that everything is really provided to you. If you ask any of my millionaire friends, billionaire friends, they will tell you that first, money and affluence and abundance comes from your mindset. So if you have a mindset of abundance, if you think abundant thoughts, then it's going to come out into your reality. So you learn this, plus how to invest in the stock market a safe, secure way. Rule number 1 by Warren Buffett is don't lose money when it comes to making money. Rule number 2 by Warren Buffett is don't forget rule number 1. And that's my hardcore understanding. I also teach dollar cost average, the trend is your friend, many other powerful understandings in the Stock Guru Mastercourse. So this is James from Stock Guru. I hope you have a beautiful day. Let's make a lot of money on this last day of the stock market. I hope you have a beautiful weekend as well. Check out those videos, Tesla, NIO, and Apple also in the channel. This is James from Stock Guru, and I'm going to see you again tomorrow.